Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Aquarius, we still all have a little bit of Aquarius in us. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in, that's where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a general or collective reading, so just take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, check out what was going on in your life back then. That might really give you some clarity as to what's going on now. Come on. Oh, here comes my co-pilot. So we're going to check what the underlying energy is for this reading. So this is about money. This is the Pentacles are actually about health, wealth, happiness, abundance in the 3D, about lifestyle. But this one particular card, it's the only card in the deck where the person is actually working on the coin. Of course, money is a big part of health, wealth, and happiness on planet Earth. But this one, they're actually working on the coin. So this is talking about making money. And it's either you started a project and you're on the second pentacle and you have 6 to go, or you've done 6 and you're on the 7th and you have 1 more to go. So that is the underlying energy for the entire reading. Now we're going to get the underlying energy for the internal forces. So internal forces are what comes from within you. So the internal forces are basically, you can tell it's an internal force if it's keeping you up at night and you're saying, what if this happens? What if I do that? Then this, what if that happens kind of energy. So it's, you do have control over the internal forces, but the external forces you don't have control over. Those come from outside of you. You can't control other people, but you can control your reaction or your response to it, whatever they do. And so this energy is talking about conception. And so what it's saying is you've launched a project, and look at, we have 8 pentacles here and we have 8 wands. So each of these represents, it's interesting, it looks like it represents a different part of some sort of project, or it's like, one pentacle from this, one pentacle from this. It's kind of like having one goal in mind, but having 8 different parts to it, basically. That kind of energy. Interesting. And so the internal forces, okay, so this is how you're identifying yourself right now, as a wounded warrior. So this energy is talking about, and look at this, we have 8 wands in the background. Now these do represent action, and as I said, this also represents conception, so it can actually represent someone who conceived a child, or conceived a child, or as in you were the one that donated the sperm, or you are the one that actually has the child, basically. So it depends on whether you're male or female, clearly. I don't think I said that quite right, but I was trying to, I'm looking at this energy and I'm like, okay, so we've got a wounded warrior here. But what's interesting, it's saying like it was a lot of work and it took a lot of focus to land this energy, these wands, and also a lot of pentacles, like to get something out of it. And you're leaning on the 9th wand. And so this is saying, this has been exhausting. There's only 10 wands. So it is only going to take one more action, basically, to complete this. But you're tired. That's what it's saying. However, having said that, these 8 wands have landed. This is very much, like if you think about the archer in the tarot, that's Sagittarius, and they have their bow and arrow, they're a centaur. And they have a bow and arrow and they're reaching for the stars, basically, and they let it go and they're trying to reach their target and the arrows land, boom, 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 like that kind of energy. So this is like a project that's like, a big project that was started, and it's like all of these have landed now. But there's still some more work that needs to be done, and that's representing this energy. Then we have an Empress energy here. So it's saying that This is something that the Empress energy is all four queens rolled into one person, basically. So this is someone who's had a lot of life experience, and this is talking about the Empress is a generator of energy. She just she produces without really a lot of having to extend herself a lot. And so this kind of energy is talking about someone who is sitting on her throne, and she's pregnant with possibilities. So that's why this is coming up, this card here, the pregnancy aspect of it. So this actually could be someone who's pregnant. Congratulations if you are. This energy is talking about, having all the qualities. So being really intelligent, having good control over your mind. It's also talking about, someone who you can understands the value of $1 of pentacles and knows how to handle them wisely. Someone that's very resourceful, also able to use intuition and logic equally, so that creative solutions. Someone who's also very sexy and a natural beauty kind of energy, a sunny disposition, all of these, and has learned discernment. And so this is someone who has a lot of life experience that's accumulated into being elevated to the Empress energy. And this is destiny. So this energy is the same person, I feel. This is like being a wounded warrior and bringing this energy in, kind of the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting because this is also Sagittarius energy, when the Wheel of Fortune, and this energy is similar to that. So it's about adventure. I feel the reason why it is that energy coming in. Right now, we do have a full moon, and the full moon is in Leo, the sign of Leo. And this is really interesting because Aquarius, this really affects you, because the Leo full moon is all about, Leo is about leadership, and it's also ruled by the sun. And right now the sun is right across the horoscope wheel in Aquarius, in your sign. That's where the sun is, and it's reflecting anything hidden from this moon. And it's talking about leadership roles. So it's talking about right now the energy for this full moon is, Leo is saying, I want to express myself the way, as an individual. I want to look after myself right now. I feel like I need to look after my needs. And Aquarius energy is saying, no, you have to look after your family. You have to look after your business. You have to look after the whole wide world. And you're like, no. And so like, it's almost like it's bucking your own sign. Like you're really like you're wanting to express yourself as an individual. And there's some sort of group energy you're in that's wanting you to do what's best for the group, but it's not in your best interest at this time. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning right now. And so this is talking about past, present, and future coming together. And this is creating a big struggle for you at this time. At the same time, on the 17th of February, we are moving into the energy of the fiery horse. It's the Chinese New Year. And the fiery horse energy is this like Sagittarius energy. And the Wheel of Fortune, this is Sagittarius. This is kind of Sagittarius energy. This is about action. And this is talking about the past, present, and future coming together in synchronicities and bringing this kind of energy about. And so the fiery horse energy is adventurous and free-spirited and wanting to express yourself as an individual. It's also in matters of love. It's very passionate and heartfelt. Like horses are all about heart energy. And the energy of the Empress is actually, she's ruled by Venus. So this is the energy of Venus is about love and feminine love, basically. And also the danger with the fiery horse energy is it can be very, very impulsive. And it also can, like, it makes people want to really set high standards and high goals. And I feel like that's the energy here, is that you want, you've been working very diligently on this project for some time, and put a lot of energy and your money and everything into it. And you want it to benefit you first and then everybody else. And that's the way it really should be. But on the other sides, the group energy is saying, no, like you should share this with everybody. And so what if you did all the work? It's that kind of energy, really. And so this is very important for you right now. You know, we're moving out of the year of the snake. And the snake energy, what does a snake do? It sheds its skin. What better time than to shed what you no longer serves you as the full moon right now? So really getting into that energy and just kind of recognizing, sorry, my dishwasher is completing its cycle here, but it should be quiet in a couple secs. My mic is pretty good. I do have it on. Yes, I was just checking. It's on noise canceling. So you might not be able to hear it, but it's quite loud. It'll just be another minute or so. So the wheel of fortune is turning now, and it's saying it's time that you look after your own needs instead of always looking after the group needs. That's the kind of energy. And the danger is putting, like with this horse energy, is being like setting such high goals and not giving yourself enough time to, that you burn yourself out and you don't get to the finish line. So just be aware of that energy. Like this is like someone who's becoming exhausted. So you might need to go inward right now and just take a few days off and just be, it's going to be okay. If I take a few days off, the world will survive without me kind of energy. Then and you might have other people saying, no, you have to keep going, but it's not in your best interest, it's in their best interest. So just be aware of that. Then we have all these opportunities coming up, like opportunities galore, the Seven of Cups. So this is talking about, cups generally talk about romantic love. Quite often it's romantic, but it can be something you love to do, love to be. And we have 7 opportunities, and I feel like 8 of these wands are like gifts that like they could keep on like feeding you, you know, like there's so much energy in each of these. One of them maybe not so much. We do have one here that's a snake, and that might be the one that you need to shed right now. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. Isn't that interesting? It's sitting right there. So this is being like having a lot of opportunities coming in because the wheel is turning, and it's due to all your hard work, but it's meant for you. This is your destiny, your path. And we have the King of Cups coming in. So here's some love energy. So the King of Cups is sitting on his throne, and he's in the middle of troubled waters here. But he's calm. Like this is someone who has mastered the art of being able to control his emotions and not get upset and not do impulsive behaviors. Just ready when the opportunity is right, he will get up. You can see his right foot is on the edge of this platform, saying that in a moment's notice, as soon as he feels that the opportunity is ripe, he will get up and he will present his cup of love. And the energy is someone who's very stable and emotionally available, because the emotions of others and the chaos around him, he's able to stay calm through it all. And then we have, look at this, we have 3 of Cups energy. So no, this is a celebration, but none of these people are looking at each other. So what they're celebrating is not each other. They're celebrating something that's happened, something, maybe it's that 7th cup with the snake in it. That's the energy I'm getting. Be careful, Aquarius, here. Because this card, a lot of readers read this as a celebration, but what I don't like about this card is cups are supposed to be about love, and the energy is no one's looking at each other. And in many countries, especially in Europe, if you don't look someone in the eye when you're toasting them, it means 7 years bad luck for your love relationship. And so it's kind of like an energy of trying to stop these 7 opportunities coming in. It's that kind of energy. So to prevent, like there's one snake in the grass in all of this kind of energy. They're all opportunities though. So, you know, a lot of times possibilities are hidden as challenges. So it's that kind of energy. But this is saying, when this card comes in, especially in a love relationship, quite often it means there's a third party or some other interest involved in the relationship that is weakening the relationship. It can also represent slander, gossip, you know, that kind of energy. So let's look into this a little bit more. We have identity. This is how you identify with yourself right now. You're tired. This has been a lot of work and you're feeling like, oh, you know, when is this going to be over kind of energy. This is your self-worth. You feel like there's so much opportunity you've put into it. You know that it's really good energy, that there's a lot of possibility in it. So you understand the worth of yourself and your work. And the communication here is about from your early life. So this is something that you were destined to have. This is like the wheel of fortune is turning and it's bringing this in. You, like this is talking about, it can be talking about like almost like when you have a project or a business or whatever, something that you're doing, that you love it so much, it's like your baby kind of energy. It's really important to you. And then we have the home and family. So this is your emotional foundation. And so I just feel like there was love in your family, but there was and there's gifts in the cups, but there's always a challenge. Like, okay, you can have the love, but you have to do this kind of energy. So you have to conform, or you have to go to school and get that degree like we want you to, dear. You know, that kind of energy. Make sure that you make your bed and do it exactly like this. And if the sheets aren't tucked in military corner style, then you're going to have to do it over. And it's kind of attaching. The love comes with it, with conditions, basically. That's the energy I'm getting, or that's how you felt anyway. And then this is regarding the King of Cups is representing the energy that you feel regarding your romantic life and children, how you feel about your home and family. If you are married and you have a spouse and that you love them and you're a stable person for them, and you have a cup of love for all of it, even though it's chaotic. I'm getting that. So like, your spouse and your children, it's saying if that energy that you're willing to give of yourself to them, like, and do it unconditionally. And then we have here, there's something that's disrupting your healthy lifestyle, basically. It could actually be your physical health, your daily routines, kind of something, habit that you could maybe change, something that's, or that is changing, because this is that right here. And it's almost like some outside influence is causing you to have, like, your daily habits to be disrupted, or some sort of energy around that. We'll look into it some more. So this is representing the external forces. So the external forces are when you're lying awake at night and you're saying, what the EF? And what the EF is, external forces came in and disrupted. That's this disruptive energy I'm feeling here. And so this is saying that there's something that you've always wanted, and you're like 9 cups. That's like you're 1 cup away. And with this king gives you this cup, then you will be totally have all 10 cups. And that's ultimate fulfillment. So I'm not quite sure what is in this cup. Like, it's a cup of love. What you're missing in that, it could be that you don't feel that your partner loves you or whatever. And maybe that's because there's a third party and someone else is in the wings waiting to give you a cup of love. And this is something you've always wanted. This is something you really wish for. But this energy is sort of doing everything in its power to stop this from happening, because it will give you that push to really push, to keep going, like to get out of this energy and move right into this energy. That's the energy I'm picking up. There's an emperor here. There's someone, and this is really interesting, because the emperor and the empress are, when those two come out together, and they're very powerful together. And yet this emperor is an external force. That means it's not someone that's in your personal life at this time, but they definitely are aware of you. And this is talking like, just like the queen, they have all the qualities of all the kings, very wise, very intelligent. This is likely to be someone this is all about performance. The emperor is like alpha male energy. And this is someone that, they're going to be the top of their field no matter what. If there's a big company, they'll own it, and they're the CEO. If, they're a judge, they're in the Supreme Court. Yeah, that kind of, if they're into politics, they're the prime minister or the president or the king or the emperor. They've got their armor on underneath their robe, and this is signifying that they're ready at a moment's notice. And whatever they do, they are at the top. They're the alpha. And so that's the energy here. So you've got some sort of emperor energy from the external forces wanting to make this wish come true. And there's some people that don't want this to happen. So Aquarius, why is that? Why is that? Well, it usually has to do with money, doesn't it? If that's the kind of energy. So we have someone. So someone is looking across the waters and they're feeling, and this could be this emperor energy because this is an external force coming out towards you. And they're like, okay, I have conquered the world here. I'm at the top of my plateau. I'm in the turret of my castle, overlooking my domain. But I feel like I've accomplished everything I can accomplish in this area of my life, or with these people, or with this project, that kind of energy. So you might be very close to completing. Because this is for the overall energy. This could represent an emperor that's almost close to completing a project and is looking for something else in his life. And that could represent this kind of energy, maybe looking for a steady love kind of energy. That's the one thing that's missing kind of energy. This person has the world in their hands and they feel like, okay, I've done everything I can here. It's like a big fish in a little pond. He wants to expand his horizons, basically. Quite often, this is like a franchise energy. So it's saying, I've planted this here and it's solid, and now I want to move in another direction with it. Or maybe, because there's 7 here, maybe this 8th wand needs some more work here. And then once the 8th wand comes in, that action will solidify everything. That's the energy I feel I'm getting off of this. And it's so interesting because there's not a single sword. So as of yet, in Aquarius, the energy is, the element is the sword, the mind, and this is all about love and actions and other people's energy coming in, affecting your energy, Aquarius. Really different. So the Queen of Wands, and it's really interesting because I just did the Capricorn reading, and it was the same thing. Not a single pentacle in their reading, period. Nothing. Really interesting. So this is the Queen of Wands energy. So this is about the element of fire. And this is about, the Queen of Wands is she's considered to be very sexy and natural beauty. She follows the sun, so she's got a sunny disposition. She's really good at creative solutions to problems. She's not a worrier. She doesn't have what ifs because she knows this veil represents her intuition and her logic, like that being a thin veil, the spiritual world and the 3D, she can see it all kind of energy. She has a black cat. She's not afraid of the black cat. She's like, cats have 9 lives, so do I, kind of energy. It's like she's a visionary, and she's everything she does, it's kind of like she's aware of it, of the dark and whatever, but she prefers to follow the sun like a sunflower and look for the sunshine in her life, like being happy. No matter, happiness is a choice. You can see that a lot of times. People who are in really dire circumstances they decide, okay, well, I'm going to be happy anyway. And you could have people that have, it appears everything, look at Hollywood, for example. They have everything, but they always end up unhappy for some reason, Okay, so we have a tower coming in. And so this tower represents a reality check. And so the universe quite often will whisper to us, and if we don't hear it, then the frying pan comes out and it's like, whack. Do you hear me now? And if you don't make the choices or what you need to do, then we have the tower coming in. I feel this tower is outside of your energy. It's an external force coming. Maybe it's going to affect you, but it's not directly because of you. It's because of some sort of other energy. And you don't have control over the external forces. So it's just something that's going to affect you, and you're going to have to react or respond. And this is about, okay, I feel like some forces outside of you are getting the 2x4 treatment. And you're going to, if you're associated with them in any way, you will feel it, but not to the same extent they do. Here we have a pentacle coming in. So the Page of Pentacles is someone that is talking about all this energy here. And the Page of Pentacles would be working for the king and queen around the age of 7 to 14. And they generally would be from a family in the area that is like upper class kind of family, or it could be a distant cousin of the king and the queen's bloodline. And they would deliver messages back and forth and learn the tasks and, you know, the energies of that. And they understand money from a very young age because they're surrounded by it. And this energy is talking about some sort of communication coming in regarding the hard work that was done here. And this is talking about this, whatever the Page of Pentacles, when they deliver a message, it's usually pretty solid. But it would be like an apprentice of somebody. Like it would be maybe the emperor's secretary sending you an email and saying, the emperor wants to meet with you at blah, 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 kind of energy to discuss something. That's the energy. So it could be a secretary, an apprentice, that kind of energy, delivering a message. And of course, in those days, it would all be by hand and then it would be taken back. But this energy is talking about, with the communication we have today, it could be a letter in the mail, it could be an email, it could be a text message, a phone call, that kind of energy. But it's to do with pentacles, about lifestyle and also money, because this is the only other pentacle here. And then this is right there. This is a reward. Interesting. Coming in from the North Star, for following the North Star. But this is the Emperor's energy. This is an external force. And what's really weird here, and I've never had readings, like I just had a reading just like this, where this is about Aquarius, but there's not one sword in this whole energy. It's like the external forces have more control over your life right now than your internal forces. Like there's not one sword here to represent your energy. Let's see. We're going to clarify with my oracle here. I don't know what this is. So that was the reading I just did. It took me a long time because I was really trying to figure out. I've never had a reading like that before. And now here we have another one like it. So it could be something that's happening in the world right now on a bigger scale, and it's coming in. We do have the full moon energy, and people who are gossip, slander, that kind of energy that get together and celebrate actions that they're taking here. And as soon as this energy, it's like all of a sudden my throat's tightening up. They don't want this. This is something they don't want to be known. This is low-flying witch energy at the full moon. That's why. Okay, now this card's coming out. And the card that's popping out of my oracle deck, to clarify, is degradation of this hard work. All right, so they're trying to make you... It's really interesting. Because it's still like you're not here. It's almost like this is we're going to just go with it. So this is degrading this energy, basically, purposefully doing that. I am using my oracle cards, which is Tales from the Vector, Tails. And this is something I began in 2007. I completed 64 paintings by 2020. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And these paintings I finished in 2020 when the mandates hit. I finally had time to finish them because of the mandates. So it was like a blessing in disguise. And then... I've had them out and about over the years at seminars and at psychic fairs, etc., but never in its entirety. All the paintings weren't done yet. So now I'm gathering the information so I can bring it out, but I need the information to go in the book. I have a lot of information on my website if you want to check it out, talesfromthevector.com. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order that they are listed in the gallery, and I will put them in the order they appear here. Sometimes they, a picture can paint 1,000 words kind of energy. So here we go. So this is talking about degradation of a star energy. So this is someone who's following their North Star. That's what the star card is. It's about bringing your special flavor into, and this belongs to someone in the external forces that's being rewarded for this, for their actions. And in some level, it's been degraded. Okay, so we have the energy of the Hermit. This isn't uncommon. The Hermit goes when things are like, when you're in this energy, the best thing you can do is climb the mountain and isolate yourself. And this energy is like, get to the top of the mountain and, pray and commune with God and meditate, so that you can come, like, once you have the lantern, has the energy of the North Star in it, it's shining its light, and you can come down from the mountain and implement it. And the Hermit's holding a staff, and that staff turns golden, and it's kind of representing, okay, if you don't know what to do now, go inward. The full moon is the perfect time right now we're in that energy. It's not till February 1st, but we definitely are in that energy already now. And it could be about this leadership. There's going to be justice of some sort. A lot of karma coming in. 9/11. Emergency. Doom, doom, doom. Kind of like that energy. Yeah. And then we have intention. It's almost like this is a story being told, but you're observing it, which is typical, actually, Aquarius energy. So that kind of makes sense. You might be observing a situation that you're not involved in, really, like that's outside of you, and you're learning from it. That very much could be the case here, actually. Because you're looking at this energy, and it's like whatever's happening here is like an emergency for other people, but you're observing and you're looking from a distance at it, and trying to understand, okay, what's going on here? You're involved in some way, but you're not here, is the thing. But that Aquarius energy is about observing and then seeing the results, and then doing another little experiment. How did that work? What's going on with that? And then, if it's working, double up, and if not, go back off kind of energy. This is Gemini energy. So this is, again, about communication and learning, creative solutions versus logic, possibilities versus challenges, that kind of energy. Being learning. It's about, and Gemini energy, now we finally have some air here, like to represent the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus, but Gemini energy is the baby stage of Aquarian energy. Aquarian is the most mature of all the air signs, and that represents your thoughts, your mind, your intellect, that kind of energy. So now at least that kind of energy is coming in. There's something that's been learned by this. And we have the sun. See, and remember I was saying Aquarian energy, the sun is in Aquarius right now, and we're in that energy reflecting onto the moon any injustice that's been done. And it looks like to an empress, that energy is being exposed. Like it's like the sun is shining light on it in this Leo energy, this leadership energy. And Aquarius energy, it's talking about, it's to better the world kind of energy. Interesting. So this could be a reading, not so much about an individual, but like a type of energy that's happening on the world. We just had all that, the leaders of a lot of countries and innovators in industries, etc., meeting in Davos. And maybe it's because of that energy of them getting together and the energy around the world moving because of it. We have indifference. So yeah, that kind of would explain it. We're all in it together, and we're progress in, we're a work in progress all together. But we see the discrepancies, the hypocrisy around that when we have Davos is a very expensive place to be. Everybody flying in by jets, and the economy and so many parts of the world being the way it is, that the regular everyday person cannot even afford to go to Davos to talk to the politicians or the people in charge, which is life. It's the way it is. But it's just saying about, again, that leader to the group energy. What's more important right now? Really interesting. I feel like this is not so much about a person or a personal situation, but kind of more of a global energy that's trickling down to people. We have attachment. So this is talking about being really attached to the way you want things to be. And of course, attachment is the mother of all karmic spaces. We can all fall into karmic spaces, that's for sure. And so the energy is, like if you get attached to something, then sometimes you'll do anything to hold on to it, kind of energy. Also, I want to point out that this energy here of the horoscope signs coming in, I'm not talking, a Gemini is doing this or that kind of energy. I'm not singling any sign out. I'm talking about the qualities that the Gemini energy has, which is about being at that stage, at kindergarten, where your subconscious mind is already formed and you start to make decisions yourself. Because when you go to school outside of your home, that's when you realize, oh, things are different for some kids from how mine is, kind of energy. And you start seeing, oh, everything isn't exactly like it is in my home. There's other, it's kind of that waking up to that energy. Excuse me. The Emperor is on the Emperor. So it's saying, yes, something's going on here to make energy. This is about partnerships, commitments, marriage, that kind of energy. And we have an Empress here and we have the Emperor here. And so this would be saying that this is the energy that you feel that you should have, the energy of an Empress, and be with someone like that. So that's okay. We're starting to get somewhere. Now we got this energy to make it more confusing again. So that makes sense though, because we have a Tower shortly after this. So this is talking about some sort of temptation coming up, and this is this is transformation, like the death of something that's happening and a rebirth, so that things are going to be in a new way. And so this is the devil represents temptation to do something. That's an impulsive horse energy that I was warning about. And so let's see, the devil you're not going to get the truth from, so we're going to cover that. Okay, so this energy is being canceled out. It's talking about harmony in 2026 energy. Interesting. And that's on transition, that's like talking about the death of one cycle and the beginning of a new one. So that's good energy. This is about being able to speak your truth and having harmony in the world. And Taurus energy coming in. So Taurus energy is about learning the give and take of life, and that's in higher learning right now. So yeah, when a Taurus, the Taurus energy is represented by the bull because it's very stubborn. And if you've ever had a toddler around, if you're a parent, they're so lovable, but they can be so stubborn and they don't like to share. And this is about having to learn the give and take in life and understanding that things are not going to go exactly the way you want them to. And if you're attached to that, it has to be exactly that way. It's going to create limitations for you because the world is full of different ways to do things and different ideas, etc. It's so interesting though, because there still is not, this is the only air energy so far that we have. We have Temperance. Okay, so this is about being devoted to the path that you're supposed to be on. Requires a lot of patience. And again, that's a Sagittarius energy on a Sagittarius energy. So it's talking about action again, not thoughts. And then we have the Eagle. So this is talking about keep your ego in check, because it's talking the eagle can fly out and explode, like impulsive behaviors that if they go unchecked, your ego could ruin a situation for you. That's in the house of your career. This is career and reputation, and being patient with this. And this is about blessings coming in. So this is saying, don't let your ego get in the way of receiving what you want to receive, because it's not in the form that you thought it was going to come in. And then we have disruption. Yeah, what's fun for some is not fun for everyone, and that's across like this energy here. So I really do feel like this is talking about underlying energies around the world. As I said, there's not a whole lot. It's really interesting because this is the second reading though I've had in a row now, that where the element of the person that, like, I'm reading for Aquarius here, but it's more like you're observing it from a distance. It's like either you don't want to be a part of this energy, or you're just observing it and you're going to take it from that place. I'm going to leave it there because I don't really, if I have more of these readings, I'll figure it out eventually exactly. But I do get that I feel like it's kind of more of a reading for like the global energy than it is for any individual. It's talking about that observation skills that Aquarius is so good at, and using the intellect to solve problems. This could be like an Aquarius observing from a distance to stay neutral to the situation, so you can see both sides and get a better perspective on what's really going on. That resonates. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. Please do comment and give it a like if you have, or if you at least have gleaned some energy. You may know more than I do because of your situation, that maybe you are looking into something and you're not really directly involved in it, but you want to get down to the facts of it, that kind of energy. And consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel, and I will be back with another reading for you. The next one I think will be bonus on Valentine's Day energy. Bye for now, Aquarius. Sorry, Stella. You were sleeping.